We are trying a new format. Welcome to the channel, Epicworld, the creator. Something just happened, y'all. So I recorded an entire video and I found out that my interface was not plugged in, meaning I did not have audio. And I decided to see that as the topic I was recording, my initial spiritual awakening, not being the topic that I'm talking on today. I want to encourage you with a few words on what I think really manifests your highest ideal, your best self. And that is by being able to do the things which are more difficult to attain. So, to preface this, with the law of vibration and attraction, we want to think positive thoughts and do things that bring us joy and goodness and make us feel relaxed in order to open the space for the life that we desire or the outcomes that we desire to happen in our life, to manifest, to become. It can be easy to have a mindset of simply sitting and waiting instead of actually doing things that will allow you to feel your best. Okay. Everything that we experience is based on the state that we are in. And so when I say that your best self will happen when you decide to do the things which are difficult, but which are possible for you to do. Here's what I mean. Being able to run, unless you're paralyzed, unless you've got a debilitating situation, being able to go for a jog is possible for anyone. And what happens when you start exercising your body is you start to change the way that all of the chemicals in your body are moving. You start increasing norepinephrine. And ultimately you change the chemistry that's happening and flowing in your own brain and the way that your flow of blood is happening in your body. Running is not necessarily an easy thing to do. In fact, it might be a completely undesirable thing for you. But what we know is that it's people who consistently demonstrate a habit of running, they have a better body in some instances. That is a difficult thing to do that creates an outcome for you that otherwise you would not really be able to achieve. Same thing with lifting weights. Lifting weights is not necessarily the easiest thing. It is exhausting to the muscles. It's a difficult thing to do. But by fulfilling that over time, being able to lift weights gives you an outcome that does make you feel good. Now, this whole entire idea came from me realizing after a run that fulfilling difficult tasks is what gives us our highest output. I've been running now since the beginning of the year, 4 months, 6 months if I count when I began running in 2024. I've noticed a change in my body. I've noticed a change in my mental processing. Running has become something that I go to be able to cause clarity within my mind and my energy levels. When I feel like there's too much stuff happening and I can't balance things out, I'll decide to go for a run. Whereas last year, when I was completely on the other side of a spectrum, I would go to different substances, nicotine, alcohol, cannabis. My brain was used to going to those substances which made my body feel good. I was used to going to those things in order to cause a reaction that my body liked, in order to make myself feel good. But what was the cost of that? I was tied to those substances. I was tied to a habit of hitting a vape. I was tied to a habit of having my stress levels increase and then my brain going alcohol, or my brain thinking cannabis. When I shifted and said, no more of those things, they're not good for my health, they're not a part of the future that I desire, I'm going to need to do the difficult work of weaning these things out of my habit process and then putting something else in their place, which is not an easy task. I commend you if you have done that, if you decide that that's something you're going to do. When I filled the space with something healthy and began to consistently fulfill that new responsibility, that allowed a higher, better, more beautiful state of being to occur. Being able to fulfill difficult tasks, for instance, in a business, it's not easy. It's not always going to feel like sunshine and rainbows. And many law of attraction teachers, they say that you want to do that which makes you feel good, that brings you into a relaxed state. Go get a haircut, go to a spa treatment, go have a massage. That which makes you feel good opens up the space vibrationally for the things that you desire to manifest in your life to be welcome. And this is true. And what I'm saying with this is when you are able to find out the responsibilities that you want to fulfill that are not necessarily simple, like as simple as laying on a massage table. When you find responsibilities that are difficult to achieve, but once you do, it is a beautiful congratulations to yourself that you've done it. For instance, training for a marathon and then completing that race, or deciding that you want a new set of skills, and so you fulfill the responsibility of studying each day, fulfilling the responsibility of what is initially a little resistant to your normal way of being, but by consistently showing up for it, you fulfill that responsibility, and now you get the gratification of that feel good at the end of it. Those are the things which will dramatically, truly shift your life. If you have heard of 75 Hard, I think that's a great example of this. Another example is monk mode, which is ironically something that like a year ago, 2 years ago, I thought, man, I should go monk mode. You do like 6 months of simply sticking to tasks, having no substances whatsoever, and doing the same thing day after day after day for 6 months. You see a dramatic shift in your entire reality. I think that looking at more difficult responsibilities to fulfill, that opens the doors to deeper self-understanding as well as deeper self-responsibility. And because of that, you respect yourself more and you respect others who are like-minded. So what I want to pose in this video is what are things that may be vices for you right now? Something that has been taking a little bit too much mental real estate, as we like to say, or physical intoxicants that you may have been wanting to take a break from. Ask yourself that. Be honest about it. If you want to commit to it, just comment it in the video. I truly believe now that the difficult things in life are what provide an individual with the most beautiful manifestations, the most beautiful life. So be honest with yourself. It's only for your highest, best good. Okay, that's the video. Thanks for being here. This is Epic World. Peace out.